Thank you so much, Mr. Brian. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michelle Nagawa, and yes, I will be presenting on rapid mapping as a response to emergency. And yes. Yes. I worked with two individuals, Sesanga Charles Dixon and Kawango Charles as well. We're affiliated with the Institute of Surveyors of Uganda, the Young Surveyors Network in Uganda, as well as Chambogo University. Next slide, please. This is the content I have. I would have a background, problem statement, aim and the specific objectives of the study we took up, the methodology, results, and discussions. In Uganda, there are various disasters, natural disasters and natural that happen, but those that are water-related have been on the rise, mainly in Kampala city. And this has, over time, reduced, but unfortunately, it remains, the floods in Kampala remain affecting people highly to about 2.8 million. And these devastations not only relate to the loss of lives, but also economic losses in such a way that the geomatics related technologies, for example, GIS, GPS, have come in as to play an important role of getting innovations to such disasters and helping us in disaster assessment and damage assessment. Therefore, this paper is basically there to help us understand how to apply geomatics through rapid mapping to provide immediate crisis information that can be used to respond to contexts of emergencies. As seen earlier in the background, we know that floods are very huge disasters in Kampala, and this can be either natural causes like heavy rains or artificial, where you have individuals encroaching on wetlands. And therefore, rapid mapping has come in to be a fast and on-demand provision of geospatial information that can help us easily adapt to emergency management activities. With this context, it will help us increase in data availability through using platforms such as OpenStreetMap, Mapillary, and the number of maps we can produce can help guide the actors in this context when trying to do emergency mapping. The main aim of the study is to demonstrate the role of rapid mapping in flooding preparedness. The specific objectives we looked at was to exploit the available data sets that can be used in a rapid mapping context, meaning you look at what is available. These can be data sets that are, as I said, OSM, or they are data sets that are in other platforms that are being used currently or employing techniques such as GIS. Then also to carry out multispectral analysis, this would involve getting satellite imagery and correcting and georephrasing them such that they can fit within the methodology that we adopted. In our methodology, rapid mapping really works within a given time frame. So as you've heard, it's an emergency. So you're trying to ensure that the solution you have works in a given time frame. So we are working from T0 to T3 in those stages, where T0 is where the pre-event, where it hasn't happened. So what is available at that time? Do we have data sets ready? Do we have actors available? Do we have the required technical support that should help us combat the disasters before they happen? T0 is when you have the event happening, and what is available is the data that is available up to date. If it's not up to date, how can you correct it and make it accurate? And then between T1 and T3, you're looking at post-event analysis of the crisis. So if the data is not available, has it been obtained? Has it been corrected? And then do we have the required satellite imageries? For example, in this context, it's flooding. Do we have them, and can we use them for assessment? Which satellite imagery are we using, and to what accuracy? Therefore, in the methodology, we ensured that we would get reference data. We are trying to use open source data because we also are combating financial complications. And then once it's updated, we are able to carry out analysis, and we are able to correct it and do pre-editing. But if it's not, we have to go back and pick it. And then if it's not updated for that particular area that is affected, we have to ensure that we go and update that data. It could depend. Maybe there have been more buildings that have come up, there have been roads that have been constructed, population increase. Also, we would need to obtain the satellite aerial photographs, and as I said, to what accuracy, and are they suitable for the analysis that we are carrying out. And thereafter, in post-event analysis, we ensure that we create maps that can actually inform the need and will be useful to the users, end users. This could be the governments, this could be municipalities, or any governing body in that given area. So in our research and discussion, we worked with Chinawataka wetland, and we were able to obtain satellite imagery from 2000 to 2020, and this was with an accuracy of 0.61, because if it's real time, disasters are real time, you need to work with something that informs the current state. And the boundaries of the wetlands stay constant, but as you can see over time, there have been encroachments from people that are constructing, and therefore, if given that these wetlands are actually water catchment areas, as you can see from the elevations and catchments, we also got the roads that are available, and you would see that individuals are actually constructing in such areas. So with such information, we can actually show that when you use rapid mapping, from what we have obtained, you're able to get data in the shortest time possible that is updated and can be used by the final users in the chain. They can inform how to guide people when there's a disaster coming or when it has happened. And then applications of this technique will of course differ depending on the emergency at hand, the type of organization, and the emergency response. So therefore, every need and requirement should be tailored to the emergency that is there. The recommendation we have is that in order to leverage on providing data and information in the context of emergency in the shortest time, we should employ methods such as rapid mapping that should have simplified and efficient workflows that support different emergency responses. This could be at level 0, level 1, and level 2, in such a way that level 0 is where there is totally nothing in the given sector. Level 1 is there is some bit of knowledge on the application of rapid mapping, but then level 2 is where there's a full set system. So with all the above, we can actually have better ways we can respond. Emergency can be the COVID-19 pandemic we have, flooding, among many others. Thank you all so much for listening to me, and have a lovely day.
Okay, thank you very much, Michelle, for the presentation and work done. So can I take this opportunity to invite 1 or 2 questions to Michelle? Okay.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I have an inquiry. With the rapid mapping, the case study of disasters, how would you validate, let's say for example, the level 0 or the level 1, how would you validate someone's mapping if it's accurate?
The mapping, right? How would you validate it? So in level 0, remember you're working with, as I said, you have the right technical individuals available. So you're looking at the GIS specialist, you're looking at the individuals that work in OSM or those different companies, and there are already standards that have to be followed, acceptable limits. So those will be followed within. But we have to put such a system up such that it can help us. We don't have to wait to act. We have something already available. And as I said, you tailor it according to the situation at hand. Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle. Any other additional questions, comments? So, Michelle, this rapid mapping, do we need to access real-time data? And what are some of the challenges? And also, what are the parameters you think that when you're doing rapid mapping, they should be priority?
Okay. I did not. Can you remind me of the first question, please?
Yeah, the first question was in this rapid mapping, do we need to access real time, for example, satellite imagery? And what's the challenge with that in your assessment?
Okay, so yeah, indeed. Rapid mapping really works with real-time data, but the real-time data is supported by the reference data sets that are available. Why you could have real-time data is because you want to inform the need from what is actually happening. You do not inform the need from what you believe happened before. So if you want a solution that actually can work and make sense, you have to work in real time. And then second question.
The parameters you would advise, for example, that should be mapped in a rapid manner to assess, for example, the extent of damage or effect of the disaster like a flood.
Oh, okay, so the parameters that are important to look at is, for example, if it's flooding, there is already a boundary for the wetlands, since there was a case study. So you have to ensure that the buffer, the extent or its allowance is not encroached on. And, we should follow the guidelines that are given within the rules, say, by NEMA. And also, we need to know the extent of, the imagery specifications that you would need for areas in case you want to carry out the analysis, among many others.
Okay, thank you very much, Michelle.